the left has made it very hard to ignore. Law professor David Bernstein wrote a piece in the Washington Post, and he is quoting a piece from Sean Trend in Real Clear Politics. Here is Sean Trend talking about what liberals have done in regards to religious people, right? Because most people in this country are still at least enough religious to pray in secret. They may not go to church every Sunday, but they still believe in God. Here is his list. Democrats and liberals have booed the inclusion of God in their platform at the 2012 convention. They've endorsed a regulation that would allow transgendered students to use the bathroom and locker room corresponding to their identity, attempted to force small businesses to cover drugs they believe induce abortions, attempted to force nuns to provide contraceptive coverage. They forced Brendan Eich to step down as chief executive officer of Mozilla due to his opposition to marriage equality, fined a small Christian bakery over $140,000 for refusing to bake a cake for a same-sex wedding, vigorously opposed a law in Indiana that would provide protections against similar regulations, despite having overwhelmingly supported similar laws when they protected Native American religious rights, which is exactly right. It's only Christ they hate. And then scoured the Indiana countryside trying to find a business that would be affected by the law before settling upon a small pizza place in the middle of nowhere and harassing the owners. In 2015, the United States Solicitor General suggested that churches might lose their tax-exempt status if they refused to perform same-sex marriages. In 2016, the Democratic nominee endorsed repealing the Hyde Amendment, thereby endorsing federal funding for elective abortions. I mean, this is basically the hatred that they have shown toward religious people. It has ginned up evangelicals, but I think it offends everybody. It is the thing that makes them, that puts them at odds with the rest of us. I mean, Bernstein in this WAPO piece, he says, he talks about the Obergefell same-sex marriage case, right, where the Supreme Court declared that the founders meant for the Constitution to protect the right of gay people to get married. That's what George Washington was thinking. That was what Thomas Jefferson was thinking when he wrote the Constitution was, we got to make sure that, I guess he would have called them sodomites. I mean, back in the day, I guess we got to make sure that they get married. No, I mean, the thing is, how tolerant and accepting I am of gay people. You know all that. But the Supreme Court had no business. It's not in the Constitution. The enumerated powers do not grant the federal government rights over who gets married in what state. They just don't. And if you don't protect that stuff, you lose everything. So there was an exchange between Alito and the Solicitor General arguing for same-sex marriage. And Alito says in the Bob Jones case, the court held that a college was not entitled to tax-exempt status if it opposed interracial marriage or interracial dating. So would the same apply to a university or a college if it opposed same-sex marriage? And the Solicitor General said, I don't think I can answer that question without knowing more specifics, but it's certainly going to be an issue. The left didn't know that exchange existed. The left didn't care, but the right knew and the evangelicals knew. And they set themselves at odds with anybody who was a devout Christian, and maybe some of that Christianity was not necessary. Maybe some of the beliefs in that Christianity are not inherent in the gospel. Maybe they are. I'm not arguing that at all, whether that's true or not. The point is that this is what people believe. It's their deeply, deeply held belief. And the Democrats and the left have been spitting on those people forever. So that, there's no sympathy for them from the right.